All right, everybody, welcome back to a special transfer portal edition of Probably Shouldn't Be Recording This. I'm Josh Love. Thank you again for joining me. I wanted to record this. This is like a special. I normally record every Friday. It is now Tuesday, but I wanted to record this. This is going to be strictly Husker football. So the transfer portal has been open for 4 days. It is January 6th. It opened on the 2nd. And there are over 4,000 players in the portal right now. From all walks of life, from Power 4 programs to Group of 5 to Division 2 to FCS. There's so many players, and Nebraska is looking for quite a few players. They need a quarterback. They need help at linebacker. They need help on the offensive line. They need help on the defensive line. And it wouldn't hurt for maybe them to take a a running back. So, they have needs. They're like most teams in college football. They have needs. You get to go first, sir. You were there first. Go. Oh, go, please. Thank you. Sorry, somebody was not. Jesus fucking Christ, dude! Don't honk at me. Yeah, man. People don't understand the stop sign thing. You both come up to a stop sign. One goes, then the other goes. It doesn't mean one side all goes and then the other side all goes. So, sorry about that. Anywho, so Nebraska needs help. And a couple of days in, they hadn't gotten anybody to commit to them, and then they finally did. A quarterback named Kenny Minchie is a reserve quarterback for Notre Dame. I guess he really fought a hard-fought battle to become the starting quarterback and ended up losing it. But he was the first to commit, and everybody was kind of skeptical because he hadn't started a game in college. He's only thrown like 160 passes. So, people were concerned. But I mean, I watched some tape on him. He looked athletic, he looked accurate, he looked decisive. Those are all things that are needed in I guess what Nebraska's new offense will be, which is a mobile quarterback with lots of options to run and all of that. So, you know what? It was cool. It was 2 days, 3 days into the portal, and Nebraska had their quarterback. Awesome. And then Nebraska gets a transfer commit from a lineman from Iowa State who had started 30 games. Immediate plug and play. He's going to start on the line. Great. Transfer portal's going good. 2 for 2. Got 2 starters. And then Nebraska gets another commit from a linebacker who's one of the top-rated linebackers in the portal. So you're looking at it. That's 3 for 3. That's 3 starters. That's 3 impact players. The third day, the end of the third day, news starts getting out that their quarterback commit is flipping and will now sign with Kentucky. Kentucky was also in desperate need of a quarterback, as their starting quarterback did go into the portal as well. And it comes out and the hate just starts flowing. Like, I can't believe Nebraska got beat out by Kentucky. What kind of world are we living in where Nebraska gets beat out for a prospect by a basketball school? And then you come to find out that Kentucky offered the guy $2 million for a guy who's never started a game in college. He's never started a game. And apparently Nebraska's offer was around $1 million. So Kentucky doubled the offer, and the quarterback saw dollar signs and went with Kentucky. I don't know. Kid's 21 years old. What would you do if you were offered $2 million for a starting job? I'd probably take it too. If I'm being honest. People get caught up in like there's no loyalty. The new version of college football is awful. Nobody sticks around. This, that, and the other. Like these kids, for years and years and years, have been getting exploited by the NCAA, making all of this money for these universities and not seeing a fucking dime. So now that the tables have flipped, all the old heads are like, the game has gone bad. There's no point in watching college football getting attached to players on your team because they're just going to leave. And it's like, you got to adapt with the times. It is what it is. We know you're not going to stop watching college football. So, I mean, basically, either get with the times and kind of accept that this is what it is, or, shut the fuck up. Because tired of hearing people complain. Um, but people are wigging out. They're saying that Nebraska's, they're not trying. That all these other teams are signing multiple players and this, that, and the other. And like Nebraska came out and said they had all this money that they were going to use, and they were never going to use the excuse again that they couldn't afford a player. And I'm like, okay, cool, that's great. But at the same time, their whole personnel department, they're not going to go overpay for a player who hasn't started a college football game. Why? Like, did and the other thing is, if Nebraska did pay the guy $2 million, can you imagine how pissed off they would be? Oh my God, are you kidding me? They're paying this quarterback $2 million and he's never started a game. Like that's exactly how you guys would sound. And like the negativity surrounding this program is at an all-time high, and it's so funny to me because these are the same fans that sat through 4.5 years of Scott Frost. Scott Frost won 16 games in 4 years. He was 16-31. Matt Rule is 19-19 in 3 years. So already we're at a 3-game improvement. We have gone to they have gone to back-to-back bowl games. They've won 7 games back-to-back years. They hadn't done that since 2019. 2018, no, 2018, 17, 2016. 2016 was the last time they had a winning record. And here's Matt Rule, noted program builder. And for me, it took watching his opening press conference when he was named the head coach of the Carolina Panthers, for me to be like, okay, I like this guy. Maybe one day, if we're lucky, he could coach the Huskers. And lo and behold, here we are. And he's 3 years in. Have the results been the greatest? No. They gave up 120 some odd points in their last 3 games of this season, while only scoring, I want to say, like 30, 40. It's bad. But guess what happened? The defensive coordinator got fired. The defensive line coach got fired. Both areas of struggle for this team. They hired an up-and-coming defensive coordinator who's known to rebuild defenses quickly. So he's taken the steps to right the wrongs that he's done, that he's committed, if you will. He's, I mean, it's not for lack of trying. And I guess people get fed up with his shtick, where he's done a bill of goods and he's not following through. And you know what? He hasn't. But at the same time, it's been 3 years. They've been to back-to-back bowl games, the first time in 10 years. And people are more negative than when Scott Frost won 16 games in 4 years. It's not adding up to me. So I think it's more of like people already have made up their minds that they don't like this staff. They don't like the head coach. So any little thing that happens, they're gonna just go crazy negative, and it's uh, it's really fucking annoying. It's like, why are you a fan of the team if you can't take a step back and take a 30,000 foot view of the situation and not just be so emotional? I don't understand. Like, how do you live your day to day life? Like, I will admit, for these 2 weeks when the transfer portal window is open, I'll be glued to my phone. I'll be checking it constantly. I'll be, checking in, seeing who they get, seeing who they don't get. But if they don't get a player that I want them to get, it's not going to affect me personally. I'm going to be disappointed, and I'm going to move on with my life because I'm a fucking adult. And these fans, they sit and they stew and they just get angry and type the most hateful, ignorant shit, whether it's on Twitter or football team websites. It's really frustrating because as an empath, I try to put myself in other people's situations, and I can't do it because if I put myself in that situation, I'm just going to be a miserable asshole, and I'm going to be mean to everybody around me. And that's not what I want to be. You know, I mean, we all know that fan is short for fanatic. So there comes a certain level of lunacy when you're a sports fan and you dedicate your life and devote your time to one team in the college and football and baseball, basketball, you name it. So right now, and some news today, the Huskers got another offensive lineman that's probably going to be a starter. So if you're keeping track, that's 3 players added, 3 starters added. And then they also added a depth piece at linebacker from Iowa State, who was a 4-star coming out of high school. So he's very talented. They really wanted him, and he went to Iowa State, his home school, and then their coach left, and he jumped in the transfer portal, and now he's a Cornhusker. It's been 4 days. They're working hard on getting quarterbacks in for visits. I believe in Matt Rule. I trust in Matt Rule. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm naive. But this man loves this university and wants to win. So I think he's going to do everything in his power to make sure that that happens. Of course, some people can't see the forest through the trees and only focus on the negative. And I don't know, man. I just can't live my life with that kind of attitude. I love the Huskers. They are my favorite team. They are an abusive relationship. They are, you know, I love them. I always will, no matter what happens. Yes, I'm frustrated because they should have definitely won 9 games this season. But then you look what happened. They lost their starting quarterback. They had other things going on. And, the defense kind of just blew up. And, shit happens. But at the same time, they won 7 games and went to a bowl game. And for the first 2 quarters, basically, they were beating the number 15 team in the country. And then the wheels fell off. And if you, I don't know, you can't see that there's actual progress happening just because of the way the last 3 games ended, which I get. Sucks. They lost 37 to 10, 40 to 22, 40 to 13, and 44 to 22. They've been getting their ass kicked. I get it. It sucks. But it's not the end of the world, you guys. It really isn't. You can be an avid sports fan and not let it ruin your fucking day every day. Like, I can only imagine what some of these people that are so negative online, what they're like in real life. It must be miserable to be around them because they're probably just sad, angry people. So I just like, take a step back from the keyboard, go outside, be with your family, do other things. If it's not going the way that you would like it to, don't sit there and stew in it. And that goes for just in general, life in general. If you're in a bad place, don't sit there and stew in it. Try to do something to change it. Like, focus your energies elsewhere. And I don't know, man. Husker fans, you annoy the shit out of me. I love you. You are some of the nicest, most wonderful people, but you're also so cynical and so negative. And it's negativity is, it drains you. It ages you. I used to work with a guy who literally we called him Negative Jason. He was always negative. Uh, he would come in, and every time he would just bitch, 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 bitch. He would leave, he would come back, and he would bitch more, like all negative. So we decided to play a game at my work. Like, guess how old the driver is? We all guessed this man. Uh, we guessed that he was in his 50s. You know how old he was? 36. But he looked like he was in his 50s because he was constantly negative and just awful. So, like, that just shows you guys, if you're always negative, it's going to make you look worse. So just, I know, I'm Mr. Positivity sometimes, like, but I'm also a realist. The Husker football team should have won 9 games this year. They didn't. They won 7. They looked like shit at the end of the year. But you know what? They're still my team, and the off season is there for teams to improve their team. And it's not a sprint. There's still 10 days left in the portal. Lots can happen in 10 days. Like, I think at the very end, when the portal closes, Nebraska's going to have about 15, 16 players and at least 7 to 8 impact starters. And that's all you can ask for. So what my basic thing, and I'm going to end this podcast with this, is have faith in the people that are in their positions. Have faith in Matt Rule. Have faith in the GM that they got. His name is Patrick. I can't think of his last name. But have faith in those guys. They were hired for a reason. And if you can't have faith, then maybe just take a step back. Take a step back and take a break. It would be best for literally everyone involved. With that being said, you guys, thank you for tuning in to this very special transfer portal edition of Probably Shouldn't Be Recording This. I have been your host, Josh Love. If you go anywhere, make sure you go with love. Love you guys.